second.
Yeah.
All right, there we go. We are live, guys. All right, what is up, guys? Welcome back to Iron Archer Studios. This is gonna be episode. I actually don't know what episode this is, but we have a couple of episodes out right now. This is the episode where we're gonna have Life with two YouTubers. We have a couple of creators here, which is kind of special for what we have going on right now, which is Thanksgiving week. We have a family on that. I feel like that's a good way to have the Thanksgiving live stream be. One with family.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for having us. It's an honor. Thank you.
Problem. No problem, guys. So, like always, for Behind the Screens, we're going to be interviewing the creators behind, the screens. We're going to be talking about the past, the journey to where we're at right now. Then we're going to talk about right now. And then we're going to talk about what we want for the future and what we want for what our hopes and dreams for everything right now. So, to start off the interviews, do we want to start off with someone in particular, or do we want to go off like who started creating first? How are we thinking first?
Well, we should probably start with Cade because he's the one who started us on the YouTube journey.
Yes. Hello.
Okay.
So why don't you talk a little bit about where you got inspired and where you got started?
Right. So back in the very beginning, I was watching YouTube with her, and we watched some Minecraft channels, like the Diamond Minecart and all of them. And I was like, hey, I want to make a Minecraft channel. So then Rena would be making lunch, and I'd just be in the kitchen for an hour ranting about what my username on YouTube should be. And all this stuff.
And you were what, 9?
Yeah.
Yeah, you were 9. So he came to me and he said, Mom, I want a YouTube channel. And I said, no.
No, I definitely understand that.
Yeah.
He worked on me for 2 solid years before I finally said yes.
That's
kind of a running joke.
It is a running joke. Yes, it is. Yes. Well, I was pretty sure at the ripe age of 11, he would make like 5 videos and then he would give up, and that would be that.
Yeah.
So, but that's not the case at all. He stuck to it for almost 3 years now.
Yeah, almost 3 years now.
It'll be 3 next August.
Yeah. So two
August 2nd.
2.5 years.
August 2nd.
And he has grown incredibly.
In those 2 years. Yeah.
Yeah. We just had a 3-hour live stream yesterday, and we showed his very first video, which was really embarrassing. And he has just grown exponentially.
Thank you.
500.
That's cool.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
No, that's very cool. So what would that be? So almost 3 years, or 3? We're going 3 years. Okay, so almost 3 years. So
2 years and 5 months. Like that. Yeah.
2 years and 5 months. Okay, so we started around August, you said?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, on August 2nd, 2018.
Yeah. Yeah. So I guess 2.25 years.
2.25.
Yeah. You can tell our math skills are sharp.
It's completely fine. I'm exactly the same, guys. So man, that's cool for you, dude. Like that's awesome that you kept pushing it, and then even like your mom just said, how she just thought you were gonna make 5 videos and then be like, all right, I'm done with it, bye, I'm going away. That's very cool that you stuck with that, man. I'm like that. It's cool to see kind of you not hearing that, or you hearing somebody tell you no, and then you keep wanting to push forward and keep going for what you want, and that's something to truly admire. And I don't know your age, and I don't know if you're gonna say that or if you're not okay with saying that. So I'm not even gonna ask. Okay, yeah, for sure. I'm like, I don't know. Okay, but
very tenacious 14. Yes. Yes.
So for 14, man, that's a very business mentality, and it's a very good mentality to have just in life, man, to keep pursuing what you want, obviously with the right kind of ideas of what you want, not something bad, obviously. But no, that's very cool, man. And obviously it's very nice to have you on now, because, so that would be, you said it was 2 years before you actually started it?
Yes.
Yeah.
and then 2 years now. So that's
Yeah.
4 years of you just keep going. And no, that's awesome, dude.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
All right,
Yeah,
no
well,
problem.
and you know, I can say from a parental perspective, watching him start his channel with a little stuffed animal, and he's like, "Love me." That was literally his first video.
It
was.
him holding a stuffed
It
animal
was.
saying, "Love me." To now he has crazy editing skills. You know, he went to Barnes and Noble. He bought a programming book. He has taught himself how to use different editing software. He goes on to YouTube and he just absorbs knowledge, and he is just growing every day incredibly with what he can do as far as special effects. We pay him to edit our videos now. So, you know, it's kind of embarrassing. Like my 14-year-old son, I'm like, yay, I have this idea. Can you make it happen? And he does. He edits my Instagram posts. I've got like animated stuff when her book came out.
Yeah.
He did some edited stuff on Instagram, and he just animated it and strung it together, and it's incredible what he can do.
He actually
Yeah.
he just dropped a video today that has some heavy and wicked editing.
Weird editing. Yeah.
Weird.
So it's crazy what he can do.
No,
Yeah.
I mean that's actually one of the first things that I saw when I checked out the Instagram. I think that's exactly what I saw. I saw the editing of, I believe, the promotion for her book. That's very cool that you did that, man. And that's very cool that you're self-taught. Like where I went to high school, I had a class to teach me how to edit photos and do photography. I wasn't self-taught, so I can't say that I was like, So for you to be self-taught, do everything like that, that's very awesome. And like I said, I want to go back to that preservation. You going out of your way to look for a book at Barnes and Nobles and look that up. And I also want to say, getting a book and not like just looking it up online or looking it up on YouTube, that is very cool, dude. That like not many people do that. Not many people go to, like I said, Barnes and Noble's, a bookshop, and look up the first knowledge, I guess. Most people they just go to YouTube and they're like, all right, how do I edit? So it's very cool that you went kind of your way to almost go to the beginning of the journey, I guess. I don't know. But so we're talking a little bit about the beginning, and for you, man, growing the channel, and I obviously already talked about perseverance and things like that. What is one of the things that pushed you?
Yeah, I think so. I don't know.
What is?
Yeah, I don't know what pushed me. I mean, other people. I mean, like you guys. I mean, I saw that you guys were inspired by what I was doing and wanted me to keep going. And seeing other YouTubers who did this crazy stuff, I was like, whoa, I can do that. So,
He wants to be the next Markiplier. No pressure.
No pressure.
No pressure.
Yeah.
I want to inspire.
You got to
people.
start somewhere. For sure. And would you say you have like a message with your channel, with your videos? Do you have anything like that? Or is it just like, I'm doing this for fun?
Okay, it's kind of both, because I like doing it for fun, but I also want to inspire people to not be scared to break out of their shell.
Yeah.
Well, you're
And
very
protect the
environmentally
earth.
motivated.
Yeah,
Yeah,
protect
at
the
the end
earth,
of
yeah.
in each of his descriptions, he says, "Be kind, protect the planet." You
Save
know,
the planet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he has a lot of nature
That's very
videos,
cool.
Yeah.
hiking videos, a lot of
I like
cooking with
nature.
natural
I mean,
things.
yeah. And he will sit in the backyard with a cardboard box in rain.
Yeah, he
And
did
he
that
will
once.
record-
He just filmed rain.
I built a
For, like,
house
10
outside to
minutes.
film
It
rain.
was basically a stool cardboard box to protect the camera, not him. He was out in the rain.
Yeah.
Was in the cardboard box. And he just sat there and filmed rain. It was incredible. So, you know, he's very tenacious and very creative and very inspiring.
Thank you.
Very inspiring.
Yeah.
You guys
No,
are more.
That's very cool. That's very cool, man. Kind of seeing that, what would I want to call it? Like a filmer's mindset, almost like, well, I'm gonna do anything to get the shot, and I'm gonna do anything to protect the equipment I have. That, I mean, I would say that's the filmer kind of mentality. One thing I do kind of want to talk about is, I said it right now, where I went to school where I had a photography class that I could have learned in, and I even had a videography class. I didn't take it. so kind of in the state where you guys live, or are you close to being in high school? Are you in high school? What are we thinking? Or what are we doing?
Yeah.
High school? Okay.
Yeah.
Freshman? Okay. Do we have those types of classes over there, or is it?
He has a computer programming class, but it's
that's for making
way
like games.
below what he actually loves the class just because you already know what you're doing.
A little bit, yeah. He's like, all right,
It's like underwater basket weaving. He's got it. Yeah, he's already figured that out.
Yeah, no, I completely understand that. Man, that sucks, man. What about for like, are we thinking about like going into college? Are we thinking about going into like school after high school and pursuing that? Like, are we thinking like film school? Or what are we thinking with that?
I want to go into like movie editing sort of thing. Be one of the people behind that long process. And yeah, maybe there's a college for that somewhere, like editing movies and stuff. That's what
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, and your dream is to travel. I know you've talked about that a lot. Yeah.
If I ever do become like super popular, I'd like to meet people and inspire them and stuff. So yeah.
No, dude, you definitely have a good message behind. I mean, from what it sounds like, a good message behind everything you're doing, and that's definitely really cool, man. And there is definitely schools out there that could help you with all that stuff, and I'm definitely gonna suggest going into that. There's a lot of things that you could do with traveling, and you could still work with film. You could do a lot of stuff. But I forgot the question I was gonna ask. Yeah, I forgot the question I was going to ask, but I do know that I did want to kind of go along with a little more people. So after you, man, who was next? Who went on to the road again?
We need to continue. We need to continue the YouTube journey for just a second, which continues with you, because first of all, she said no to him for 2 years. That is the running joke. But then when I had started my channel, which is basically dead at this point, but when I started mine to start promoting my book, she then created her own channel. You created your channel.
I created my channel as a joke. My live
didn't turn out as a joke.
Because the story behind that, which everyone's heard ad nauseum, is they both were getting ready to do something, and she was in one bathroom and he was in the other bathroom, and I couldn't get into a bathroom because they were both getting ready for a YouTube thing. And I was like, oh my God, this is what life is like living with two YouTubers. Wait a minute.
And then she proceeded to film us as we did a box sleepover in the living room.
Yeah, I mean, at the beginning of my channel was basically just little short snippets of things that they were doing. And now my channel, which I haven't done anything with, we did have an interview series for a year. We just ended it actually yesterday.
Last night. Yep.
On our 1 year anniversary. And we just interviewed a whole bunch of people from the community. And Rena was the host. The point of the interview show was to get her used to talking to people, because Rena is actually pretty quiet. And, she has written two books, and she's a part of 3.
Yeah.
And part of that is public speaking and talking to her fans and talking to bookstores and promoting herself. And the purpose of the Isle of series was to get her used to talking to people, breaking her out of her shell, and we have had an unbelievable array of guests that have honored our channel and our show, from all different ages to all different walks of life, from all over the world. The focus was on who they are, what they do in their lives, their profession.
Things that people wouldn't know about them normally.
And our guests were able to pick the topic. So, it was, I don't know,
alligators,
video games,
nature,
science,
alligators,
music,
crocodiles,
poems,
whatever our guests wanted it to be.
Yeah.
I love
Yeah. And then she would write a script ahead of time, send it to them, and then we would bring them on and we would have a half-hour show.
But we featured it on your channel because at the time you had more subscribers than I did, because you had actually met with most of the people in the community via just Instagram and post and stuff like that. So we started the show on hers, and then it just ended up staying on yours.
Well, and I got really, really lucky because the boy who had 7, Matt, he was very instrumental in introducing us to the community.
Mm.
I was watching a live show of his. We met through Sam with
Sam.
Sam's Tangled Web. I don't know if you know Sam. We met him through a video game. And then he brought me in on a live stream that Matt was having. And in the live stream, Matt was giving away a slab. And I couldn't even begin to tell you what the slab was now. You know, Matt and his 9.8s, you know how he is.
Yeah.
And I won the grand prize, which was this slab. And I was like, I don't collect comic books. I could care less.
Yeah.
So I gave it away. And everybody was like, did you just give away a 9.8 comic book? And I was like, yeah, I don't care. And I got about 100 subs overnight just from that stream. And giving a comic book away.
Yeah.
You know, and that kind of sparked
Everyone
our
was just
interest.
like-
Yeah, that sparked our interest. You know, we started connecting with a lot of people in the community, you know, and then we started having the guests, and we've been incredibly fortunate with all the people that we know and all the unbelievable support that we've had, which kind of leads to you.
Yes.
Yes.
No, I know you got more questions for her. I mean, you loaded down with tape.
We're moving on. Come on, public speaking girl.
See, and the thing is that I can talk to people a lot better now. I only wish I had learned this during high school when I was in honors English class and I had to do an essay debate about every 2 months. It would have been nice to have better public speaking skills then. But,
Yeah.
When your teacher forces you to stand at the front of the class.
and you're like, so this is what I wrote about.
Yeah.
and then there's
yeah.
you wrote an entire essay, but you only read
Like
parts
the
of
part,
it.
yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
You say.
Yeah.
So, okay, I guess just kind of beginnings. I guess is that where we're
We'll start off with the beginning.
I had always had a weird knack for storytelling. It started out in the form of, I used to play games with him when we were little. We're both pretty antisocial, so we pretty much just have each other. So, we used to play all the time, and, I'd come up with these elaborate game plans, and then we would just play them out and see how it go. And then the first time I saw Lord of the Rings, I decided that I wanted to rewrite Lord of the Rings in a little pink notepad that didn't work pretty much at all. And but it wasn't until I got into middle school, because it's like I knew that I liked writing, and it's like I would come up with all these ideas, and it's like I don't know what I want to do with any of these ideas other than
Right.
talk about them. So when I got into middle school and realized that there was a creative writing elective course, I was like, oh, wait a minute, you mean there's something that I can use to put my
Yeah.
on paper? Cool. So I took the class, and it was really weird because the class went under several changes, because I took it almost every year for the next 6 years. I think there was only 1 year that I didn't take it. And a funny story about that, but I'll come back to that as we're leading up. So, the first year, it was a pretty laid back teacher. He didn't care what we did as long as we were writing. And I met one of my best friends in that class, and, we would talk and stuff like that. But then he left. So I only had that one chill teacher for that 1 year. So then the next teacher who came in, she's like, all right, we're actually getting a class out of this. You guys are going to have actual assignments. You guys are going to have writing prompts. Let's teach you about writing. And it was like, oh, this is so different. But it was really good, because in the time that I spent in her class, she taught us about using the 5 senses and being able to describe things, and how would you describe someone walking into a room, or how they're feeling. And then the monster was born of my overwordiness. My problem nowadays is I can't shut up. And clearly that is an indication of the book thickness. And as the years went on, I got steadily better at writing, and I wrote a lot of different creative writing short stories, for projects. But the year that I took off, so there was 1 year that I didn't do creative writing, and it was because it was a 2 elective class period for scuba diving. Fun fact, guys, Colorado is the second highest state for scuba divers. Don't know why, considering we live up in the mountains.
Yeah, I know.
But,
We're not anywhere near the ocean.
but my science teacher at the time, he had just come out of retirement from teaching. He was originally a teacher, and then he came back into teaching, and he wanted to open a scuba diving course for the kids. And the school board said yes, and only 5 kids entered, and I was one of those 5. But it was a year-long class. So I was like, you know what? I've been writing for the last, 4 years. Why don't I try something different?
Yeah.
And it was during that year that I came up with Isle of the Dark. And it was on our official scuba diving trip where we went down to Florida and we got a license to scuba dive that I had started writing the first draft.
So she's sitting on the plane and we're flying to Florida, and I believe we had the red eye, didn't we?
Yes,
so
we did. It was like 3 in the morning.
Yeah. And she's on the phone with her phone,
Writing
writing her story. Yeah. So
I never heard that before.
No,
Yeah.
I even remember the exact scene. I had started writing a little bit of it before we had gone on the trip, but I remember the exact scene, which is a scene still in the book that I was writing on the plane ride to Florida. It was crazy.
so she finished the
That's
book.
cool.
Yeah, so then the book only took me about 6 months to write. I finished it right before Christmas of that year. And then going into my senior year, I went back into my writing class again, and it was a new teacher again, 3rd new teacher, so the class was different again. And her objective was, okay, this first semester we're going to go over teaching lessons, going over like how to write, blah blah blah, all the stuff I already knew, but it was for the new kids. And then the second semester would be, you guys are going to write your own short novel. And I just looked at her and I was like, hey, listen, I already have a novel. Can I just use it? Can I use this class semester just to edit it and refine it? This book has gone through, 7 major revisions.
More than that, I'd say, but
it's between 7 and 11. Because
7 and 11.
I know. It just from cutting characters out, having to rewrite scenes. I ended up changing one major thing throughout the whole book that affected everything. I had to change the history. So there was like major stuff at the beginning I had to change with all the history. And then when I finally found my editor, so I had the manuscript in digital format, didn't know what I wanted to do with it. And then just by a sheer moment of crazy blind courage, I messaged a publisher. His name is Darren Palmer, and he runs a publishing company in Texas. But he's also a teacher. And the thing that we had seen was he gives, writing advice to new authors. Right. So I had just sent him a message on Messenger, and I said, hey, my name is Rena. I was wondering if you had any advice about first-time authors, because he is an author himself. I think he is a 10 times published author.
Yeah, he just released his 10th book this month.
Yeah. And a few days later, he answered back, and he's like, well, yeah, I have some advice for you. Why don't you give me a call tomorrow at noon? And I was like, okay, cool.
And from there, history.
Yeah. So, and then even then, we still did major revisions until the final. Yeah. Final draft was the board.
And then this butte.
When I was writing Isle, I honestly didn't envision it to be a book. Right. It was just some crazy fun writing that I had just gotten inspiration from, and I was like, ooh, I want to throw these 2 kinds of characters together and see what happens. And the whole book leads to one scene. There was one scene that I wanted to get to, and I was like, anything else that happens until there, cool. But this is the one scene I want to get to before I can end this story.
Yeah.
it kind of exploded into a 500-page project. I'm lucky that it got back down to 360 pages. So, but yeah, mostly.
And then for you, do you have any favorite authors right now? Like, are you like where did that kind of start as becoming an author? Was it just okay, I want to write, or was it do we read a lot? Do you read a lot, or is it just okay, I want to write and this I know I can write?
I don't actually read a lot, which I know I can see you looking at me in the background. I need to read more. I don't actually read as much as I write.
I read incredibly.
Yeah.
I have a hunger for books. There's books everywhere, all over the house.
Hunger.
There's stacks of them everywhere. So I am constantly nagging her, other than her book. But I'm constantly nagging her to educate herself and broaden her horizons, because while although she does have a very brilliant mind with storytelling, it's
I tend to be
good.
very one-dimensional.
Well, it's always a good idea to explore what others are doing out there and kind of round yourself out as a creator.
Yeah, definitely. I would definitely agree with that in the sense that obviously there's already natural talent there to write a full book, and obviously it wasn't one try. Nothing will ever be one shot. Obviously the major revisions had to be a part of the story and had to happen. But with natural talent, even though we have it sometimes, it's still good to look upon other things or people and maybe not steal from them, maybe not do that, but like kind of get inspired by them or kind of see how they do things. And if you like what they do, like, again, not steal the whole story, but maybe like, okay, I can put this concept into this, I can do this. So no, I would definitely agree with your mom on that. I would probably just start checking some other stuff out. But you said something about Lord of the Rings. Is that kind of your main thing for storytelling and anything like that? Because obviously we said we don't read a lot. So is kind of movies and television, is that your main kind of story soakingness? I don't know.
Yeah.
I would say no, though. I would say no, because one of the stories that you wrote when you were like 8 was a story about this kid and her parents got divorced, and it was like this crazy story.
Oh,
and
you're talking about the hat thing.
Where in the heck did she get all of this from? Because I mean, she's a PBS kid, okay? Like we didn't grow up with like HBO or anything like that. We grew up with like Arthur, all right? Like,
yeah.
And here she's like rolling out with this stuff, and I'm like, where in the heck is she doing this stuff? So she's got a very, very vivid imagination. I don't think that she really draws from one source per se.
No, I was even gonna say I don't read a lot, but the people the authors that I have read definitely have inspired some of my writing technique and just kind of what I look for. I have read Nora Roberts. I've read a few Nora Roberts books. The Harry Potter series, obviously. Tolkien, yeah, I've read like The Hobbit.
Gordon. The Percy Jackson series.
Right. Percy Jackson is what started my love of initially reading. Like, if I have the time and it's a good book, I will sit there and I will just read. My problem is like, it's just not my first choice. So it's like, I would rather go do something else before I read.
You'd rather create than absorb.
Right. So, but no, I mean, but then there are like a lot of movies, but like, I'm very old spirited. I like a lot of older movies, like, action movies with a lot of explosions. Yay. I'm like, no, I'm over here. I want to watch Tom Hanks and Sandra Bullock, in all the old timesy romance films, I like those because the story behind them is like, you like what's going on. It's not all drama. It's not all doom and gloom. There's humor. There's, like just different aspects. And so I like a lot of that. And I feel like movies to a degree has definitely shifted that. But no, I will just come up with random stuff on the fly. I was telling her the other day, I already have the scene for like book number 5 in my head already, and that's all I've obsessed over for like the last week is this scene in book 5, and I'm like, why have I done this to myself?
It's hard to believe she started out shy and quiet, isn't it?
Oh.
Sorry.
I was gonna ask. So obviously the public speaking, we said we kind of worked on that series that you guys spoke of earlier. So well, let me start off with this. Are you out of high school?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and then are we planning on going into college? Kind of same question with how I asked him. Are we planning on going to college, kind of looking into public speaking classes, or maybe more literature classes? There you go.
The original plan was to go to college just because it's like, you know, to do, I mean, basically anything, you need at least, you know, your bachelor's from college, you know. And but my idea was is I wanted to take 1 year off. I had just wanted because I was working at the time. I was cashier, and I had wanted to save money, you know, for my first car. You know, if they were sick of me and I needed to move out, or which would never happen. But, I had just wanted to take a year, and I had wanted to save money. So that was the original plan. But during that year, and then when I suddenly had this sitting on the table, and when I graduated, I had suddenly figured out that writing is what I wanted to do. I want to be an author, you know, and that was my mindset. But at the time I was thinking, well, I need to go to college. I need to build up a credibility, which means I need to save money. So it was kind of just this circle, but okay. But in the year that I was taking off,
Which is right now. This is the year she's taking off.
well, actually,
Okay.
It's been over a year.
Yeah.
It's been over a year
to work on pushing her book,
right?
promoting
Because
herself.
at the beginning, I had met my publisher. It was a few months before I met my publisher, and then we went through the process of publishing. And I mean, the book has only been published since April. Yeah. So the idea was is if I can start a foundation now, then it's only going to get easier with time. I may still go to college just if I need something to fall back on. If it's not, you know, if I need to go into teaching before I do more writing, you know, that kind of thing. But the hope is I can just keep writing and keep publishing and hopefully just build myself up over time.
And so far, I mean, since April, you've had a lot of success and a lot of growth. We've met some amazing authors that are already well established. You know, like yesterday on our live stream, we had Flora Bradley on.
Right.
And she has 4 books out now. You know, she's amazing and so supportive and so kind. We met her at a live signing, and, you know, she and Rena struck up a friendship, and, you know, she's just super cool. You're friends on Instagram with James Fay.
Yep.
He has 8 or 9 books out now. Yeah. I have no idea how many books he's out now. But he's also been incredibly supportive and really, really kind. And these are like big authors. They're they're in Barnes and Noble, and people know who they are. Nobody knows who we are, you know. But the fact that the writing community is so supportive and so kind and willing to help each other out so much, it's really, really nice, because I think they understand that the struggle is real. It doesn't matter how big you are at the time. You're only as good as your next book coming out. So, you know, it doesn't matter that Flora Bradley has 4 books out. She has to really focus on what she's promoting today and self-promote and work. Now, she's traditionally she has an agent. She has all these people that are there in her corner, but she still came on to our tiny little show yesterday and was gracious enough to give us an interview. You know, and that is what Rena is learning in this journey, is that it's a lot of darn work. You know, she wrote a book and she published it. Yay.
Now
the rest
what?
of it,
okay, now, exactly.
It's super hard. I mean, building up her Instagram and trying to promote herself and being courageous enough to call bookstores and say, hey, take my book.
Can we get this?
And,
Yeah.
you know, I mean, she's in 21 22 bookstores
Yeah.
now, across 5 states, which is super cool.
Amazing. Yeah.
But she's called hundreds of bookstores and
Yeah.
turned down 5 out of 6 times. So, you know, every bookstore is a victory. Every yes is a victory. Every book sold is a victory. You know, it's been an amazing journey and an amazing learning process for the whole family.
No, that's definitely cool. Yeah. And definitely when I do kind of want to say something, being that when I brought up the college question to both of you guys, I was also looking at your guys' mom because, you know, a lot of parents are like, you know, when I obviously have people in real life that I'll talk to their kids, or I'll talk to just kind of other teenagers and be like, hey, are you going to college? And they'll be like, no. But their parents are like, no, you're going to college. Like, go. This is what you're doing. You're following my plan. So I kind of wanted to see that. I was looking at your guys' mom. I was like, is she going to say something? Is she going to? So it's definitely very cool that you're being very supportive about this, and you're not, I mean, obviously, you said that you do want to have college as a backup plan, and that's obviously a very good idea. But to be, I mean, same thing that I said to you, man. The same thing as like just continuing to pursue that is admirable for anybody at any age, at any whether you're 10 years old, whether you're 20 years old, 30, it doesn't matter. If you are pursuing what you want, that is something admirable for anybody. And I've said it to a lot of people here. I've kind of made it my motto now, at least for myself, is if you're listening to other people about what to do with your life, then that's not your life. So seeing you two do that and kind of seeing you guys follow your own steps, that's very cool, and it's very, like I said, admirable and just awesome, guys. I like that. It's very cool that you guys are doing that.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
No problem, guys. Okay, and then let's move on to the mom. So
To the mom.
we said to the mom. We're gonna go with that. All right. So the whole concept of life with 2 YouTubers, that caught my eye as soon as Matt kind of told me what it was about. He was like, it's this family channel, and it's this mom with 2 YouTuber kids. And I was like, okay, well, this is cool, because I've never really seen anything like this, and I've never really seen anything that's like mainstream, I guess I'm gonna say. Like, I've never seen anything like that. I don't see, you obviously see family channels, but it's more of the parents took their kids along in the journey, not the kids took the mom or the parents in the journey. So it's very cool to see that, and it's not like, like it's not searching for attention. It's just life with 2 YouTubers. So back again to the beginning. How was that like for yourself? How was it living with 2 YouTubers, 2 different and very 2 different things? One doing videos, and then one doing how can I say literature or something? Yeah, a book. So how was that?
Well, I mean, like we said at the beginning, I was really worried about Cade doing YouTube because I was worried about cyberbullying, because that is a very real thing. People are mean. I mean, there's even people in our little community that are like really mean. So, because he was so young, I was really, really concerned about that. But Cade more than proved to me that he has the strength and the character to be able to handle something like that.
It's because I just don't care about what they say.
Which
you suck. Cool.
Very admirable.
Yeah.
I mean, and being in high school with his peers, and his peers give him all kinds of crap because of what he does. You were in a lot more of a supportive environment with your
It was very
creativity.
odd, the generation difference, because it's like I mean, because all the kids that I grew up with knew that I did writing. I mean, like I said, one of my friends was in that writing class with me. He never took it again, but he was there. I mean, they all knew me as the writer, but they all were super encouraging, and they would ask, what I was working on, and it was just so weird to see, kids that I had grown up with for 6-7 years, and how they were always just so supportive and we could always have a good time. And then look at the punks in his class who give him such crap. And I mean, and part of it is a popularity contest. When Cade hit 1,000, there were a couple of kids who had been mean to him that he was like, hey man, you want to hang out? And it's like, no, shoo, and it's just so weird to see the difference there. And it's like, I wasn't liked when I was in elementary. When I was in middle school and high school, that's when I found my friends and my clique. Before that, I had nobody. That's why he is my best friend,
Mine too.
And, so it was just so weird because I found my clique of friends at his age. And to see so many of these kids being so mean, it's like,
that's okay.
What is your problem?
Well, I mean, the long and the short of it is I have two very, very bright and shining individuals.
Unique. Yes.
And I look at her friends now, and, none of them really have a direction. None of them really have a goal. None of them really have an idea of what direction they want to go. And she does. She knows what she wants to do. Hell, I'm
The
90
missile knows
and
where
I
I'm
still don't
going.
know what I want to do. So,
A missile and she zeroed in on the target.
I mean, the fact that she has found her calling this early at 19 and knows the direction she wants to take her life, I'm going to throw 110% of my support into that. And same with him. I mean, if he decides that at 16 he doesn't want to YouTube anymore, no harm, no foul. I mean, watching them on the journey and what they're learning and the hunger that they have to become the people that they want to be, and the fact that they're willing to work so hard for it, how can I not support that? I mean, their journey and their lives, and I'm unbelievably proud. So everything and anything in my power to make the magic happen for them.
That's definitely amazing. It's good to see kind of supportive parents, because like I said, at least in mainstream, from what it always looks like, is parents, they look supportive, but at the same time it's more of, hey, let's make you do this so that I can get money. And instead of, I mean, like I see it a lot, and it kind of sucks, because at that point, is it the kid's dream or is it the parent's dream? So seeing this this family layout, I guess, of seeing two young adults trying to become great things for themselves, and then having that parent behind them pushing them forward and being supportive is definitely something very cool to see. I do kind of want to, I know we already kind of moved away from you, man, but kind of into that, how high school, or not how high school was, how high school is. Obviously your mom just said about the cyberbullying, and obviously there is a big generation right now where anything you do is, a lot of people see it. A lot of people will always see it, especially with YouTube. It's always going to be online. It's always going to stick around. So, you obviously said you don't care. But has it ever been, because that was one of the things where I wanted to talk about along the journey. Has it ever been something that kind of has put a stop or a hold on things and been like, maybe I don't want to do this anymore because of the amount of slack?
Well, I think I've never actually ever wanted to actually stop. That was a weird sentence. Yeah. But there was a couple of times where people were like, the stuff you do is so weird and it's so young, and people don't want to be your friend because of it. And I was like, that's interesting, but But it didn't take me long to realize that why do I care what they think? I mean, I'm probably never going to see them again anyway. After.
Yeah.
So, like, so I was just like, no, I'm going to do it. So.
Well, I mean, every now and then you'll get some nasty comments and, you know, the thumb down thing. And, you know, I mean, that's when I got my first thumb down on my video, I cried. I was so like, sad, I was so upset. I was like, how could anybody thumb down these videos? They're about my beautiful kids. You people stink. But, you know, I mean, it's a life lesson, and it teaches you how to have a thicker skin and to rock to your own beat. And who gives a crap what anybody else thinks? You know?
Exactly. No, yeah, definitely. I mean, I can definitely kind of say the same thing. Starting I mean, I started it a long time ago. I started this, I mean, I call it a company because that is what I want it to be. I started this company 4 years ago, and if we look at what I'm at right now, which is 200 subscribers, that at the end of the day only had to do with the fact that during the whole time of me being in high school, me being 18 right now, so from, I want to say freshman year or sophomore year maybe, going through all of that, I never told anybody that, like, hey, I'm doing YouTube, or hey, I'm doing this. Now it's to the fact where I'm to the point where you're at, and it's, I don't care. You know, I'm going to do what I want to do because it is what I want to do. So seeing that you have that right now, man, at, you said 14?
Yeah.
That is absolutely amazing, man. Like, it's 18? Something that...
Yeah. I just caught that. You said you're 18?
Yeah.
You're younger than I am. What the heck?
Yeah, I'm 18, guys. Oh, yeah, I do look very old. I've caught a lot of people saying they think I'm 25, they think I'm 30. I'm like, no, I'm 18. Just got out of high school.
I was told today, I was like, yeah, he's like 25, 26.
I'm like, he's like 24 at least. Yeah, oh my gosh.
And look at you rocking the interview skills.
No, definitely, like, I mean, I kind of share a little bit of that story, and being that public speaking was horrible for me. It was the same thing in class for me, where I would have to do a whole bunch of these essays, or not essays, but kind of presentations in front of class, and I would have my whole script down, but then it would be just filled with that, and every now and then I would say, yeah, George Washington something, blah blah blah, you know. So it was exactly the same, and now it's something so cool to see, especially with YouTube. Even though it can be a toxic community, YouTube does help a lot of people in kind of getting them out of their shell, and a lot of people try and have that be their thing, where it's like, oh no, I'm like a very isolated person, but sometimes you're deep down, you're really not. And kind of a lot of people do want to see that, and a lot of people would love to see that person that is outside of that shell. So seeing you guys be so out there is very cool for the age that both of you guys are at.
Thank you very much.
You.
Yeah.
And you too?
No problem, guys.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. But yeah, no, I mean, it's definitely very cool to hear, because so far I haven't had any young adults or any I mean, obviously not toddlers, but any like 10-year-olds or anywhere around my age, haven't had that conversation with them. So it's definitely cool to kind of hear that story, that it wasn't just me, you know? So, and obviously now that I am kind of being a little more out there, I do hear those stories in person, but it's still cool to see that it's happening not just here, but all around the world. You know, it's happening to like a lot of kids around the world, where they want to go out there and pursue their dreams, but they can't because they're either too shy, they just don't want to do it because of just of what could happen. So seeing you guys do that, it's very inspirational for a lot of kids. Obviously, I wish a little more people would be like that, you know, kind of show, or not maybe show, but like not care what the people think, you know, and just do things like that, because we would have an amazing group of creators on this platform. Yeah. So kind of, I already mentioned platforms. So for you, man, is YouTube where you want to stay? Because from what I heard, we like editing a little more than filming. From like what I heard, is that correct, or is it like an even? Is it filming more, or what are we thinking?
I like editing more. Yeah.
Editing more? Yeah. All right, for sure.
I like
So
put it together. Yeah.
yeah. So is YouTube, like for what you think right now, is YouTube your main platform? Do you want to eventually, when you grow up, do you want to still keep YouTube as your main platform, or do you want to edit for, these huge companies, Sony, Disney, things like that? What are we thinking?
I think even if I were to go work for some big company like Sony or Disney or anything like that, I think I'd
Yeah.
still keep YouTube, because YouTube is, you can get closer to people with YouTube, I'd say. Because when you edit movies and stuff, the one downside is you barely get recognition for it. Like, sure, you
That
go
is
in the
so
credits.
funny. You were just talking about this yesterday.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah, we were having a Buffy the Vampire Slayer marathon.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Because I'm an enormous dork. And at the end of the show, they were showing all these credits. And he was like, man, all these people contributed to this episode, and you don't even
They
know
get
who
2
they
seconds
are.
of screen
Yeah,
time. Yeah.
You
so
get
they
a
put
name.
all this heart and soul in putting this show together, and you just see John Doe flash across the screen, and John Doe spent however many hours just for his name to flash up there. So that's really great, because we were just talking about that. Yeah.
So yeah, I definitely keep YouTube because you can connect with people a lot more.
That's definitely cool, and that's definitely a cool reason that it's a cool reason to hear that, because I do agree with that. Producers get a little more like out there, but producers, or not producers, editors and writers, they don't get a lot of a lot of the attention they kind of deserve. Obviously you get directors, which directors do have a lot of big part of that, but editors and writers, obviously there's a whole production there. But from what I would say, editors and writers, writers being the whole reason there is a story. And then same thing, it's just movies in TV shows, or name flashes or goes across the screen for 2 seconds, and it's what's left? Nothing. And then with editors, it's the same thing. It's like they worked on this movie for sometimes months, and they're just like, okay, bye. So it's definitely a cool reason that you want to stay on YouTube and have this be your platform, because of that, because you can be a little closer to the people. And business mindset, which, I mean, you didn't kind of talk about that, but business mindset, you could get a lot more, you can get that company out there a lot more than just getting your name flashed there. You could be like, oh, the best producer, or not best producer, but best editor in Hollywood. But because you're on YouTube, now more people know you. Now you're getting, it's just cool, man. It's cool.
And plus,
so
reach out to him for projects too. I mean, the more they see what he's doing on YouTube, the more they can reach out to him. And, we've had a couple people reach out to him and say, hey, can you help me with this particular project? And he's only 14. So, the bigger a following he gets, more people can reach out to him and say, hey, I have this clip, or I have this idea, or, whatever. And he can help them put that together and, start making some money.
Yeah, no, that's definitely cool.
Do it for free.
All this what so far.
I mean, no, sometimes it's cool that you just have fun with it. And obviously you can make a business out of that, but a lot of people just make a business out of something, but they don't even like doing it. So it's cool that you have that mindset of, okay, I can possibly do a business out of this, but I'm also doing it because I like doing this. So I also wanted to say, the whole YouTube thing, it definitely sounds like a freelancing project, where I'm going to do what I want. I'm going to do, I'm going to put my stuff out there, which is, again, freelancing. And then you're open to going to work with other people. So it's definitely cool to have that array of possibilities, options, I guess. I don't know how to kind of explain it, but it's cool to see that. But kind of to maybe call it at an hour, is there anything that we kind of want to promote? We said, I know we talked about the book. How many books do we have out right now? Do we just have that one? No. Okay. Let's promote that. What are we thinking? How many books are we doing?
Okay, we'll
so
start with your first one.
Yeah. Okay. So obviously there is this guy here, which is it's the baby. It's the pride and joy here. So, but what I'm doing for Christmas is I wrote this little guy. And it's tiny. I mean, if you look at this nice comparison there.
Compared, yeah.
But this is just my holiday book. So, and for this month only, if you buy one of these, if you don't have it already, you get this guy for free. It's part of the Christmas package because it is a Christmas book. And also we have a raffle going. So if anybody buys anything off my website, which is www.renabrownauthor.com, if you buy anything at all, make sure to take a screen capture of it and send it to me on my Instagram, which is Rena_Brown_author. If you send that to me, you will be entered into a raffle for the chance. Oh, hey! Thank you.
No problem.
And there it is. There's even.
Yeah, I was like, there it is.
Well, and there's we have another friend. Her name is Harmony, and
yes.
She's on Instagram under Garbage Ham Sandwich. She is an unbelievably phenomenally talented artist.
Yes.
And she has done 3 different designs for us. So if you if you X out of that and scroll down, you can see some of the art that she's done. Keep scrolling down.
Yeah.
Yeah. Keep
That,
scrolling.
yeah,
Where's it at, Peanut?
A little lower.
A little lower.
Yeah, it's right under it. Yeah.
There we go.
All right.
Yeah, that's the new design that we just launched actually yesterday.
Yeah.
So basically in the book, there are monsters and they're called Dotsos.
Mm-hmm.
So Harmony has created these monsters. So that's like your monster reindeer. And then there's a monster cat and a monster poodle.
Mm-hmm.
They're really cool. And you can buy shirts or a sticker
mugs,
or shower curtains, as you're so fond of.
I
I've got to get
why.
you a shower curtain. I have to do that. You're so obsessed with it. But any purchase will get you.
Yeah.
entered.
So
yeah.
If you make any purchase whatsoever, if it's the book, you get a chance to enter, and you get this one free. But you could win 2 different shirts, and we will let you customize them however you want, and we will get them and we will send them. There's a mug that you could win. Glitter and duct tape has put in a $20 gift certificate for a local online LCS. And you could also win the first appearance of Beta Ray Bill in Thor Newsstand. Which, we've all been told is a pretty expensive book. Yeah. So, but then there's also this guy. This is my other book that I contributed. I did not write this single-handedly. This has 15 authors from around the country contributed in it. And they are spooky tales based off of local legends. So like the 2 that I did for here in Colorado was about the Red Rocks Amphitheater and Route 491, which was originally Route 666. So there's bound to be some weird stuff.
Yeah, something. Yeah.
But if you guys buy this one as well, you also get a chance to raffle, and you can get this. So it's like if you already have Isle from when I launched it back in April, but you don't have this guy, you can still get this one for free. So it's just kind of like the Christmas sale only lasts until December 25th,
Yeah.
So
it's definitely cool.
With your channel.
What were you gonna say?
I was gonna say, because I was a little confused because we talked about the first book, and then you said something about you already have the scene for the 5th book, and I was like,
I know.
Okay, whoa. So I was like, I want to say there's more than one book, but I still wanted to question. Okay, so I'm glad that we kind of set it out there. Okay, and then what do you have going on, man?
Well, she also was working on Sinner, which
Yeah,
is a
which is a
completely
different
different book.
manuscript. Yeah.
But Isle of the Dark is part 1 of 4 books. So she's got all these things already planned out in her head, like, you know,
Years
for
in
years to
advance.
come.
Yeah.
So this is the first one of 4. There's 4 of these that follow your main characters, Ranger and Isle. And then this little one. So I mean, technically, I guess you can call it 5 if you want to count this one. But then me saying 5th book. If the series ever becomes popular, there is a second series that follows after it. But it's with a different cast of characters, but it's in the same universe, same
Okay,
feel.
cool.
But her brain is that far ahead.
People are like,
we're
"What is it?"
beyond, yeah.
But yeah, my next manuscript that I hope to have come out sometime next year is a book called Sinner, which is you follow a teenager. His name is Demo, and he is the only demon allowed to live in heaven. And you follow his story, and there's some pretty dark secrets that he's not aware of, and he suddenly has to face a lot of social anxiety because he becomes basically like an angelic protector, and everybody's like, hang on a minute, he's a demon, why is he a protector?
Yeah.
And it's his journey as he's learning these secrets and figuring out where his place in the world is. So
That's cool.
So there you go.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, and then what are we like planning, man? What we got going on?
Ooh, okay. Nothing like really big, but we're doing that Choose Your Own Adventure. I've advertised that a couple of times.
He just started his own Redbubble. He has merch.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we have to reset it up though.
Oh.
Yeah, remember, because
Well,
Redbubble
right now you can get his
self-destructed.
merch on her channel.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, he has.
yeah, so you can get this little guy.
Oh, it's cool.
That's his avatar with the plush in the very first episode.
So lovely.
Love me. But he also has that same avatar reaching for stars. That's kind of like our slogan right now is reaching for the stars. And you can get it off of my Redbubble, but it's his avatar. So
Yeah.
It's cool.
What else? He's going to be live streaming a lot.
Yeah, I am.
Okay.
A lot of things I'm going to be doing is just random games that I find on Steam. I'm probably just going to make a Let's Play of.
Well, and we've discovered that it's not just 1,000 subscribers that you need for him to be monetized. He needs 4,000 watch hours.
Yeah.
So we kind of learned the hard way that you need to do a lot more live streaming in order to rack that up. So that's why they launched just this week the 6 days of live streaming. So he's kind of trying to build that up and that kind of thing. So that it'll be a couple more months, but he's plugging away. He's going to get there.
Yeah,
That's cool.
very yeah.
These two make an incredible team because he knew that he needed hours, so she launched her new holiday book yesterday on his channel to get him the hours. So these two, they are unstoppable together. They really are.
Fight me, I
They're an incredible pair. Yeah.
That's definitely cool, especially as siblings. We don't see a lot of that. We see a lot of fighting with siblings, so it's definitely cool to see a sibling team going on, and that it's actually doing good. It's definitely cool that you guys support each other. Did I have something? No, I don't think I have anything. Anything else we got planned?
I am actually going to be doing eventually a series more behind the scenes stuff on her journey as far as the writing part of it.
Yeah.
Well, because she did a book signing and we took some footage there just to kind of show people how much grit and determination it's taking her to figure all this out. Because when you talk about on Instagram, oh, Rita went to a signing. Oh, it's so glamorous. So it's not. It's hard work.
Yeah.
When we went to the signing, especially launching a book during COVID,
that was
she's had
timing
2
in the world.
signings shut down on her.
Oh,
original
jeez.
launch was shut down. 3 days before her launch, that's when everything went red and everything shut down, and that was back in April because her book launched on her birthday.
Yes.
On April 4th. But it was actually planned for a little bit before that, and then COVID shut it down, so we switched to the online platform, which was great. I mean,
it still works.
Yeah. Kind of a blessing in disguise that first time round.
And then she actually had a signing scheduled last Saturday, and it got canceled because we just went red again. So she's only had the one book signing, and it was with 3 other authors, and just the dynamics were really interesting to us. You know, how there was one more well-known author. He has 18 books out. He has a movie deal. You know, he showed up late.
Space Station Down. He's the second.
We're not going to mention who he is. You know, he showed up late, and he showed up without a pen. Okay, if you're like a super successful author and you're not respectful enough to show up to your own signing on time and with the tools that you need to greet your fans,
yeah.
You know, so it's just been really interesting kind of seeing the different personalities. So we're going to be doing a series on her journey and the driving and the phone calling and just all those things to kind of help people understand just how really hard she's working. That's
cool. No, that's definitely cool. I did have a question and I forgot it, but now I'm going to bring it back up. No, you're good. I forgot it because I just forget a lot of stuff. But it had to do along with, so obviously we're doing gaming. And so I was going to say, are we going to stream? Are we ever thinking about kind of doing anything like Twitch? I believe it's Mixer, I believe is another one of them. Anything like that? Or are we just going to stick with YouTube, get those hours in and then blast off with YouTube?
Yeah, I think I'm going to stick with YouTube for now.
Yeah.
I was throwing around an idea in my head. What if I made another channel altogether for streaming only? But then I was like, wait, but well, I mean, I'd say later in the future, but
you did have that video game thing you were doing, the Create Foundation. Are you still gonna do that?
I think I'm gonna make that more of a story than a game.
Are you?
Yeah. You also have Icy Block about.
Yeah.
He has a couple of channels. He did start another one where he was going to do like a blogging channel, and then he created another channel. Again, going back to him buying a book. What was that book even on? That program, that big fat thing.
Unity.
Yeah, where he's teaching himself Unity so he could build his own video game.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's kind of a project he's got in the back of his head too that he's working on. So.
But I haven't been able to find much time for it.
Yeah, it's time consuming.
Yeah, it's very hard time consuming, and I have a lot of other stuff going on, so I'm just like.
That's cool. I mean, straight A student. So, I mean, being a straight A student and running his YouTube channel and coming up with creative content, you know, he's a busy little dude.
No, it's definitely a tough balance for a lot of these things. You know, you gotta live your life, and then you also gotta keep that mindset of business, keep going, gotta keep pushing, gotta keep doing everything so that the business doesn't fall back, but then you also don't lose your life, and it's a tough balance. So it's definitely cool you're keeping a balance of it, keeping those straight A's. You definitely got to keep that up, and then the channel's still doing great. So it's a hard balance, and you're doing great at it, clearly. But lastly, kind of to end it off, do we have any other things to promote, guys?
Thanks, Sarah.
I think that's enough.
All right, guys. And then I always end off these videos or these episodes with, is there anybody that you guys would like to see me interview? Anybody that you guys would want to see kind of get the story behind the content, I guess. And if there's not, that's okay. Yeah. I haven't talked to a lot of people. I have like 3 episodes, I think.
Yeah, you know, Kirk, I think Kirk would be a really good candidate. Yeah. So I don't know if you know Kirk. He's Mindshift on
Comics on the Mind.
He's Mindshift on Instagram, and he's Comics on the Mind on YouTube. And he lives in California. And he's a teacher. He is just a really, really cool dude. Right now he is part of the Not Near Mint crew. And that's
Rob Wurst.
And that's Lady Fantastic, Rob Wurst, Miracle Man, and then Kirk. But he has started a new series where he's doing kind of like a teaching thing behind the scenes, and I think that's really super cool and really super inspiring. And I can DM you his information. If
I was definitely gonna say that. Yeah.
Yeah. Who else do you think? I think Caroline. You'd have a lot of fun with Caroline. Lady Fantastic. She is a scientist, and she is a huge comic book groupie. She loves comic books. She lives and breathes comic books, but she's unbelievably brilliant. She goes to the lab, she sends pictures of her setup and her slides and her stuff, and she pops, and it just right over my head. She's
microscope, wiggly mac and
brilliant.
cheese
Yes.
monsters.
So she's actually working on a cure for COVID, which is really interesting and really cool. She would also be a super cool interview, I think, for you. Yeah, those are the two off the top of my head.
Yeah. All right, for sure. Like I said, definitely just kind of send me the link so I could check them out and see where I want to do.
Yeah, I actually could think of a ton of people, but those are the two that popped up at the top of my head.
Okay. All right. Do we have anything else to say?
Where do you see yourself going from here? Let's turn this around a little bit on you.
Okay. Kind of when I first started this channel, it was more of a I want to start the channel, do something like that. Later on in my life, kind of closer to senior year, was when I really wanted to. I've always said, well, I haven't always said, but senior year is when I really wanted to kind of take a leap into this, and it was making this channel right now a company. So, and it'd be a company in entertainment. So I've always kind of been a fan of any type of entertainment. Like I said, I went to high school with photography, and I have a photography Instagram account, which I want to start working on that a little more. Then I have the channel, I have little gaming clips, I have music on my channel. So it's something that I see myself making as a company, and I don't just see this being a YouTube thing. I've talked to a lot of people, this is one of the things where I talk to people and saying that I don't want this channel right now to be, or this company right now to be just me. The reason I want it to be a company is because I want to get creators out there. I want to just push entertainment out there. The whole message behind this company is bring smiles and just make people happy, make them laugh, make them feel again, So kind of the same thing you said with newer movies. They're all about drama, explosions, and things like that. But with older movies, it's like, okay, there's this emotion. Even if it's a sad emotion, it's something that we can all relate to as humans. So that's what I want to push with this company. I've talked to other creators about hopping on. I've talked to cover artists about doing cover songs for the channel and posting them. So it's definitely a lot of things I have planned. I've planned on building a school eventually, which is going to be hard, but a school based on entertainment. It was right after I did a a talent show. After that night, I was like, okay, this is where I want to push company, and I from then on, that's when it all blasted away.
Aww. That's amazing.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And there are a lot of people in the community that will totally support and help you.
Yeah.
That's incredible. So yes, chase that dream, and we help support you as much as we can.
Thank you, guys. But other than that, I think we're done with the interview. Just really quick to promote what we have going on the company. We have a December catalog right now going on, guys. Well, actually, not right now. It starts in... what's today? The 29th. So in 2 days, December starts, which means we're going to have a video every day of December. We're going to be starting off with, it's going to be tough. I don't like doing the daily videos, but it's something I want to do. We're going to be starting off with roasting early Christmas decorators outside. Even though my house is decorated early, we have a little funny joke in there that I roast my own house. So yeah, I can't even talk because that's my house right now. It's my house is decorated early, but we're gonna be doing that. Then we have a mukbang. We have Christmas videos. We have an original Christmas song. What else do we have? We have decorating the Christmas tree, Secret Santa. A lot of fun ideas right now that we're gonna be doing. So check it out. It starts December 1st. Check it all out. Like I said, Let me check. Yeah, December 1st. And other than that, though, the December catalog, we are still going to be doing the normal series. So for vlog 6, we're still going to be doing behind the scenes or behind the screens. We're still going to be doing the writer's cut. So check everything out, guys. Not just the December catalog. It's going to be everything. There's a lot going on in December. So big things. Hopefully it does something for the channel and the company. So thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys for coming on and doing that interview. Like I said, it was definitely cool. I'm definitely very kind of I don't know, I can't find the right word right now, but it's a cool thing that you guys have going on right now for all 3 of you, and then all 3 of you as a group. It's definitely very cool to see. And thank you guys for coming on.
Absolutely.
It was an honor. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys. All right, but other than that, though, we will see all of you guys in the next one. I have this little thing where at the end of all my videos, we go pa-pa-pa, 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 pa-pa. Peace, guys. I'll see you guys all in the next one.